Welcome to the first screencast for Golden Cheetah. Today I'm going to show you how to create a new rider and set up your Performance Manager chart. Once you've installed Golden Cheetah for the first time, you need to create a rider. You'll either get presented with a dialog box to do this or click on Cyclist and New. Simply enter your name and click on OK. You need to set your options up. So the Tools menu, go into Options. Make sure your crank length is correct, and then click on Athlete. Enter your name, date of birth, gender and weight, then click on either power zones or heart rate zones. Setting these up is the same. If you do have a power meter, you should set both up. With the date, the from date is very important. It needs to be prior to the first ride file you're going to import. Today I'm going to be importing files from 2009, so I'm going to use the 1st of the 1st 2009. Then enter your threshold heart rate, resting heart rate and maximum heart rate. Then click Add LT. Next, click Default Zones. Change your trim values to 0.84, 1.65, 2.57, 4.01 and 5.97. Finally, click on the Performance Manager Chart tab. You have a starting LTS or long-term stress number. It will probably default to 0. This is an estimate of your training in the 6 weeks prior to the first file you're importing. So for me, this would be the last 6 weeks of 2008. If I trained on average for 10 hours a week for those 6 weeks, then this value would be 10 times a factor of 8 or 80. Click Save. The next thing you need to do is import your old files. So go Ride and Import. Here are my 2009 files. I'm just going to import a couple of months worth. So select those files and click Open. Golden Cheetah will go through and make sure they're in a valid format. Then click on Save. Over to the left you should see each of those files being imported into the calendar and list view. And once it's finished, click on Finish. Then you can select any ride and look at the details or the ride plot. Today we're also going to set up the Performance Manager chart. So click on the PM tab. Golden Cheetah will go through the files you've imported and extract the relevant data. Now the first time you go to the Performance Manager chart, you may just see a straight black line. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, down in the bottom right hand corner, there's a drop down. You need to make sure that says Use Trim. If you're a power meter user, Use Bike Score is fine. The second thing is you'll note that the date to start here is August the 29th, 2011, which is after my data. So there's a slider, click on it and move it to the left, and you can see here's my performance chart here. You can close the chart up from the right, and here's my Performance Manager chart. To find a value for any particular date, you need to select the chart, and the values will appear down the bottom. I prefer to use the Metrics tab for my Performance Manager chart, so I'll show you how to set that up. Click on the Metrics tab. This tab has lots of custom charts that you can either use the ones that are there or set your own up. Today we're going to set up the Performance Manager chart. Over to the right, click on the Metrics and scroll down to the right. You should see Trim Stress Balance. Click on that one, please. Once you've done that, hold down the Control button and also click on Short-Term Stress and Long-Term Stress. And you'll see the others are added to the chart as well. It's a little bit clunky at the moment, so we're going to tidy it up. If you right click on long-term stress and then click on settings and just remove the highlight best down to 0. Do the same with the short-term stress. And I'm going to change the color from pink to red. And finally, the stress balance. I like the bar style. If yours is not up in the bar, you can change it here. With the colors, I prefer grey for this one. And then remove the highlight best. And there is my performance management chart. To save this for use later on, click on the Add button. Click OK. And it will be added to your list of charts down the bottom. From here, you can simply hover over a particular value to see the balance. This one has a 32.8 stress balance, my short-term stress of 66.6, and my peak long-term stress or fitness 88.4. That's all for this edition of Golden Cheetah Screencast. Thank you.